All right, let's talk about the trait perspective of personality. Trait theorists attempt to describe personality in terms of stable and enduring behavior patterns or dispositions to feel and act. Some theorists use dominant traits and their associated characteristics to describe what we would call personality types, like type A, type B. One strategy that psychologists have used to identify fundamental traits has been to suggest traits like anxiety that some theories regard as basic. A newer technique is factor analysis, which is a statistical procedure that identifies clusters of behavior that tend to appear together. For example, through factor analysis, Hans and Sybil Eisnick reduced normal variations to 2 to 3 genetically influenced dimensions, including extroversion, introversion, and emotional stability and instability. Brain activity suggests that extroverts and introverts differ on their level of arousal. They also differ, extroverts seek stimulation because their normal brain arousal level is relatively low. Jerome Kagan is a psychologist who maintains that by influencing autonomic nervous system arousal, heredity also affects our temperament and behavioral style, and this helps define our personality. So this is a good example of factor analysis and how we do it. Just this chart, you find where you are and you kind of see, where you are in terms of the chart. Again, brain scans, like I just said. Sorry, I've lost my place. Brain activity scans suggest that extroverts and introverts differ in their level of arousal. Extroverts seek stimulation because their normal brain arousal level is relatively low. And then genetics, again, Kagan says that autonomic nervous system arousal, or by influencing autonomic nervous arousal, heredity also affects our temperament and behavioral style, and this defines our personality. So, psychologists assess several traits at once by administering what we call personality inventories. And in these, people respond to items designed to measure a wide range of feelings and behaviors. And one of the most famous is the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, the MMPI. And this is the most extensively researched personality inventory. It was originally developed to identify emotional disorders, but this test is now used for many screening purposes. The MMPI items were what we called empirically derived, which means that it's from a large pool of items. The test developers selected those items on which particular diagnostic groups differed. And the objective scoring of the test does not guarantee its validity. For example, those taking the MMPI for employment screening may give socially desirable responses that create a good impression. And we're going to talk about what that means. Researchers have isolated 5 distinct personality dimensions, and these are called the Big Five: consciousness, agreeableness, neuroticism, or emotional stability versus instability, openness, and extroversion. These 5 traits appear to be stable in adulthood, about 50% heritable, descriptive of others around the world, and predictive of other personal attributes. Locating an individual in these 5 dimensions provides a comprehensive picture of personality. And I love David Meyer's little mnemonic right here. Picturing a canoe can help you recall these big 5 factors. So consciousness, agreeableness, neuroticism, openness, and extroversion. And what they're going to ask when you're talking about trying to assess somebody's personality, they're going to ask you, first of all, how stable are these traits in this person? How heritable are the traits? Again, they're about 50% heritable most of the time. And do traits predict other personal attributes? And in this case, the Big Five, most of the time they will. So let's evaluate the trait perspective. Although people's traits seem to persist over time, critics of the trait perspective note that human behavior varies widely from situation to situation. So traits are weak predictors of behavior. For example, being conscientious on one occasion is modestly related to being conscientious on another occasion. Oh, sorry. Defenders of the trait perspective note that despite these variations, a person's average behavior across different situations is fairly consistent. We do have distinct personality traits. Moreover, research suggests that traits are socially significant. They influence our health, our thinking, and our job performance. In informal social situations, our expressive styles, like our animation, manner of speaking, and gestures, are impressively consistent. Moreover, we can judge individual differences in expressiveness in a matter of seconds. So we can form lasting impressions within a few moments of meeting someone. And that's the trait perspective. Thanks, guys.